Good evening and welcome to the August 25th, 2022 monthly meeting of the Henrico County School Board. At this time, I would like to note Mrs. Shea's physical absence from today's monthly meeting. Mrs. Shea requested I preside over today's meeting on her behalf. I am vice chair of the school board, so that's why I get to do it. She previously notified board members of her request to participate electronically from a remote location due to a medical condition. Our board policy P2-04-006, electronic participation in meetings from remote locations, requires a majority vote of the board members present at the primary or central meeting location to allow board members to participate in a meeting from a remote location. In accordance with this school board policy, board members, may I have a motion?
I move that the school board approve the remote participation of Mrs. Shea for tonight's meeting.
Thank you, Ms. Ogburn. May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call vote. Mrs. Atkins?
Aye.
Reverend Cooper?
Aye.
Mrs. Ogburn?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Mrs. Shea's request has been approved. This meeting is being live streamed on the HCPS website. We'll begin our meeting with a roll call vote. When I call your name, please verbally indicate your presence. Reverend Cooper?
Present.
Mrs. Shea?
Present.
Mrs. Ogburn?
Present.
Mrs. Atkins?
Present.
And I'm present. Please let the record reflect that a quorum of the board is physically present and Mrs. Shea is participating electronically. I ask Mrs. Shea to verbally note if she needs to leave the meeting and subsequently verbally note when she returns. The first item on this evening's agenda is the approval of the agenda. Board members, may I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I move that the school board approve the agenda for today's meeting.
Thank you, Reverend Cooper. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Atkins. Now for a roll call vote. Reverend Cooper?
Aye.
Mrs. Shea?
Aye.
Mrs. Ogburn?
Aye.
Mrs. Atkins?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The ayes have it, and the agenda for this evening's meeting is approved. And next, we're going to have the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence.
Thank you, Mrs. Kinsella, members of the board, and good evening to our visitors. We'll begin this meeting, as we always do, with the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be followed by a moment of silence. So I'd ask that you please stand as you are able for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated, and we'll now have a moment of silence, which can be used for those in attendance for personal reflection, prayer, or meditation. This begins our moment of silence. And that concludes our moment of silence. Next, we have some wonderful recognitions, and Mr. Carroll's going to come forward, but we are so pleased that we are going to have an opportunity to recognize our Virginia High School League, or VHSL 5A state champions.
Madam Chair, members of the school board, Dr. Cashwell, colleagues and guests. Tonight we recognize our 2022 Spring State Championship teams. Last year, Henrico County Public Schools won 11 state championship titles, including 4 in the spring, continuing our tradition of athletic excellence. At this time, we invite Deep Run High School's coach, Brad Hoff, principal, Brian Fellows, Director of Student Activities, Michael Kidd, and members of the Deep Run Boys tennis team, Jeremy Kang and Andrew Nam, to come forward. The Deep Run boys tennis team completed their second consecutive undefeated state championship season in 2022. The last time the team lost a match was the 2019 state final. Zach Fleischman was a regional finalist in singles, and Siddharth Pandey and Hatcher Butterworth were regional finalists in doubles. Deep Run had numerous athletes on the all-region and all-state teams. Deep Run High School also won the 2021-2022 Virginia High School League National Guard Cup. This is the fourth time in 5 years that the school has won this prestigious honor. The National Guard Cup is the highest award given by the VHSL, the Virginia High School League. It goes to the school in each classification that has achieved the best overall record in VHSL state-level competition in 27 sports. The cup represents the state champion's state champion. Congratulations to the Deep Run boys tennis team and the Deep Run High School community. Next, we would like to invite Coach Ray Moore, Director of Student Activities Vance Harmon, and members of the Douglas Freeman baseball team, Lee Sowers, Ryan Bland, Ryder Warren, and Jonah Herbert to come forward. The 2022 Freeman baseball team brought home the first baseball state championship in school history. They finished as the regular season 5C champions, the region 5C tournament runner-up, and the Class 5 state champions. The team finished with a 22-4 record and had numerous players named to the all-region, all-metro, and all-state teams. Congratulations on your historic season. Next, we would like to invite Coach Christina D'Angelo and members of the Freeman girls lacrosse team, Zyra Isaac, Ella Davis, and Grace Moore to come forward. As you guys can see, Freeman had a pretty good spring, so. Freeman girls lacrosse ended the 21-22 season with a 16-1 record. They won the Region 5C championship, giving them back-to-back titles, and won the Class 5 state championship for the second consecutive year. The team had numerous players named All-Region, All-Metro, and All-State. Bridget Wilson was named Region, Metro, and State Player of the Year, and Coach Christina D'Angelo earned the Coach of the Year honors at both the regional and state levels. Congratulations to Freeman girls lacrosse for such an outstanding season. And for our final recognition of the night, we would like to invite coaches Larry Parpet and Gordon McGill and members of the Freeman girls tennis team, Cindy Shea, Caroline Frank, Ellie Wood, and Ann Douglas Council to come forward. Freeman girls tennis finished the 2022 season with a 20-1 record. They were the Region 5C champions as well as the Class 5 state champions. The team made their mark in school history by winning back-to-back regional and state championships. Numerous athletes received all-region, all-metro, and all-state honors. The girls also excelled in the classroom with a cumulative team GPA of 4.4. Congratulations on these outstanding accomplishments.
Congrats again to all of our VHSL state champions. We are so very proud. The next item on our agenda is our Henrico highlight, a time when we shine a light on the innovative teaching and learning that's taking place across our schools. This evening, we will learn about a unique way that students who have difficulty speaking are embracing technology to progress with spoken language. Gayton Elementary School teacher Megan Hyatt shows us the power of LAMP, language acquisition through motor planning. Take a look.
What she swallowed? A shell, she swallowed a crab, she swallowed a fish. Can you find one of these on your talker? What did she swallow? Did she swallow a crab? Oh, can you find the crab? Find the crab.
Crab.
Crab. What else?
Fish. Fish.
Fish. And what did she swallow before the sandcastle?
Sand.
She swallowed the sand. What else? Two more. There's two more left. Where's the shell, Scarlett? Find the shell.
Shell. Shell.
Good. We do an adaptive curriculum here, and a majority of my students either have limited verbal abilities and or are difficult to understand. We provide this application for students to be able to learn to communicate on their own in the absence of using their voice or in conjunction with using their voice. A wave.
A.
That's right, it's under the A.
Seagull. Seagull.
A seagull.
We are using the communication app LAMP, Words for Life, and LAMP stands for Language Acquisition Through Motor Planning, and that's a communication app that you buy for the iPad, and then that iPad itself becomes a communication device.
Sunny.
Good job, it's sunny today.
We may have them only start using 4 or 5 words, so on the app itself they only see those 4 or 5 words, but then over time we can start adding more and more vocabulary, and we can also add the grammatical markers so that they can start creating sentences as well.
Can you find the sand? A lot of parents are scared when you mention the idea of using a communication device because they're afraid that their kids will stop speaking aloud. They'll rely on the device too much. And actually the research doesn't show that. The research shows that using a communication device actually helps students learn to be more verbal in their everyday lives. You gonna go read the date? To me, the most important thing in my classroom is independence. Using communication is a huge part of that independence. And this gives them the ability and that independence to be understood by anyone that's around them.
Temperature.
Right now,
There you go.
it's 74 degrees Fahrenheit. Today, expect a high of 81 degrees.
High of 81, so it's gonna get hot today, girls.
And special thanks also go out to Joyce Downs, Exceptional Education Coordinator, for being a part of that video and for all of her work to support students with the use of assistive technology.
Thank you, Dr. Cashwell. And the next item on the agenda is the reading of our HCPS mission statement. Reverend Cooper, will you please read it to us?
Yes, ma'am, Madam Vice Chair. Henrico County Public Schools and an innovative leader in educational excellence will actively engage our students in diverse educational, social, and civic learning experiences that inspire and empower them to become contributing citizens.
Thank you so much, Reverend Cooper. And then for the next item on our agenda is the public forum. One citizen has signed up in advance to address the board this evening. And if I may read words that we typically read in advance of public forum. This is the time when citizens are invited to address the school board on any matter of concern about the school division. Citizens have signed up in advance and will be given 2 minutes to address the school board. Speakers will be called to speak in the order in which they signed up and may not relinquish their spot to someone else. We ask that each speaker, our one this evening, come to the microphone and clearly state your name and school affiliation, if applicable, and the subject of your remarks before speaking. After stating your name, please place the number you were given in the cart near the podium. Speakers must present their remarks to the school board, not the audience, and may provide copies of their comments to the school board clerk. The use of obscenity or defamation is strictly prohibited and will be ruled out of order. To assist you in tracking your time to address the school board, there's a timekeeping system displaying the elapsed time on the screen. Speakers will also receive a notice from the chair when the time has expired. The school board is happy to hear from you today. We will not be responding to speakers' concerns or questions during the public forum. However, a Henrico staff member will follow up with anyone who speaks. Stakeholders also have the opportunity to provide written comments through an online form in advance of this meeting. Those comments are shared with school board members prior to the meeting and posted in board docs. Equal consideration and attention will be given to both written and in-person comments. We appreciate your attendance here this evening and for providing your input. Would speaker number one and the only speaker for this evening please come to the podium?
And all the stuff that goes with being a foster child. And his caregiver has really been instrumental in helping him so that he is closer to her. I really appreciate your talking with the school and making sure that experience was looked at and they originally denied it, but then it was the reverse decision last night.
For coming out and actually sharing kind words with the board. Just for your awareness, it was your appeal that made the variance happen. I just connect behind the scenes. Board members don't get involved with that. School folks in our schools and our school leadership team do that. But it was your advocacy and your appeal that made it happen. But thank you very much for coming and sharing with the board. And we wish him a great first year at Dumbarton Elementary School. All right? Thank you so much. The next item on the agenda is the approval of consent items. Board members, I know you've probably reviewed these items in advance. Are there any items that we should speak about separately? Mrs. Shea?
No, ma'am.
Okay, with that behind us, board members, may I have a motion to approve the consent items?
I move that the school board approve. I move that the school board approve, award, or accept items 8.01 through 8.13 on the consent agenda as recommended by the superintendent.
May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Atkins and Ms. Ogburn. Now for a roll call vote. Reverend Cooper?
Aye.
Mrs. Shea?
Aye.
Mrs. Ogburn?
Aye.
Mrs. Atkins?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The ayes have it, and the consent items are approved. And now for the next item. Board members, is there any unfinished business? I'm not seeing any or hearing any. Mrs. Shea, do you have any?
No.
All righty. And the next item on the agenda would be new business. Board members, is there any new business? Okay. Well, Mrs. Shea, no new business?
No.
Okay. The last item is the announcement of meeting dates. The school board's next meeting will be a work session scheduled on Thursday, September the 8th, 2022 at 1 p.m. here in the Auditorium of Newbridge Learning Center. The meeting time may be adjusted if needed. This meeting is adjourned.